Clipping is very important part of climbing. The faster you clip, the more efficient you will be. If I'm projecting a route, I definitely think about which way the gate will be facing. I like to clip with my thumb, not with my fingers. So when I'm to the right of the bolt, I would clip it like that the gate would be facing towards me. In that case, I would grab the rope like this and clip it like this. To show it quickly, it can really look as fast as this. In case you are clipping with your fingers, it's usually more efficient if the gate is facing the other way. And then you would clip like this. Of course, sometimes if the quick draw is fixed or in the gym, you can't really choose the way the gate is facing. In that case, I'm usually clipping with my fingers once it's facing to the other side. And obviously, when it's facing to me, I would use my thumb. You can still use your thumb for clipping even when the gate is facing the other way, not grabbing your rope like this, but grabbing the rope like this and clipping like this. Or you can still use your fingers even if the gate is facing towards you, doing like this. In general, I would say the more old school way of clipping is using the fingers, the more modern way is using the thumb. I would say if the quick draw is hanging in the free space, it's much safer, much more probable that you will clip perfectly to use the thumb, because you kind of catch the quick draw and stabilize it and then clip the rope in. I definitely recommend to check out all the possibilities and to find your own way. My way would be clipping with the thumb when the gate is towards me, clipping with the fingers when the gate is to the other side. It's not only important the way you clip the rope into the quick draw, but it's also very important the way you unclip the quick draw from your harness. I definitely prefer to have my quick draws hanging in the harness clipped from above, but some people definitely prefer to have it clipped from underneath. I do believe it's kind of the same. It's just really important to have your own way and stick to that. If I'm carrying more quick draws, I definitely still prefer it having it in the very first loop, and even up to, let's say, 8 quick draws in my first loop. The second loop of the harness I would be using for maybe belay device, or in case I would be carrying more than 16 quick draws. There's also a question whether to have the 2 carabiners facing the same direction or the other way. I would say it also depends a lot in which way you prefer clipping. If you prefer clipping with your fingers, then it's better to have it like this. But I definitely prefer having the beaners facing the same side, because then I would clip it like this and I would have the gate facing me, which is my preferred direction. Sometimes clipping the first bolt is very, very difficult. And unclipping the quick draw, clipping it into the bolt, and then clipping the rope in can take a lot of time, and it's possible that in the meantime we might fall off. There's a very nice trick how to do all of it so much quicker. You clip the quick draw onto your harness and you clip the rope straight onto the lower carabiner. And then you go up, you get into the clipping position, and all you have to do is just unclip from the harness, clip into the bolt, and you're safe. You just really have to think about from which hand you're going to clip, and also think about that your rope is clipped the right direction. So obviously, if you will clip the rope like this, and then you will clip it this way, the rope will be facing the wrong direction of the carabiner, and then this could be very dangerous because it could unclip. So think about it beforehand, which way the rope will be facing. So check it out, try it, and be safe. A lot of routes consists of hard sections and good rest. It is very often the case that people would just somehow make it through the hard section. They would get into the rest, and the first thing they would do would be clip straight away. What is wrong about it? Well, sometimes the people, yes, they are scared because they might be a few meters above the last protection. But if you get to the rest and you are totally pumped, the first thing you should do is try to rest. And when you feel a little bit fresher, then clip the rope into the carabiner. If you will waste those 3 seconds by clipping the rope into the carabiner before you actually start resting, it just makes no sense, right? You should always make the time that you spend in the hard sections, the time between from one rest to another rest, to a very, very minimum. And always mind that climbing can be dependent on a very, very tiny details. And maybe higher up there is a crux move that you keep falling off, and you would only need a few percents of more power. And this tiny trick could help you to actually get to the crux higher above, a little bit fresher, and you'll end up sending the route.